Imagine this situation. You're walking your dog in the park, enjoying a beautiful day. The sun is shining, birds are singing, your mood is excellent. Suddenly, your four-legged friend abruptly changes direction. Their nose intently stretches forward. Their eyes light up with a special gleam. In a moment, they're rushing towards something incredibly smelly and, with an expression of absolute ecstasy on their face, starts rolling in it, writhing with their whole body as if trying to absorb every molecule of the scent. Sounds familiar, doesn't it? This behavior may cause confusion, irritation, and even anger in owners. But for dogs, it has a deep evolutionary meaning, with roots reaching back to prehistoric times. Today, we'll dive into the amazing world of canine instincts and figure out why our domestic pets are so obsessed with smells that seem disgusting to us. Let's start with the fact that dogs perceive the world completely differently than we do. If vision is the primary source of information for humans, for dogs the main sensory organ is the nose. And the difference between our sense of smell and a dog's is truly colossal. A dog's sense of smell is tens of thousands, and according to some data, even hundreds of thousands of times more acute than humans. The average human has about 6 million olfactory receptors in their nose. Impressive? Now imagine that a German Shepherd has about 220 million and a Bloodhound has more than 300 million. Moreover, the part of a dog's brain responsible for processing smells is proportionally 40 times larger than in humans. Imagine being able to detect the pinch of sugar dissolved in 2 Olympic swimming pools of water, or notice a drop of blood in 5 liters of water. That's how our four-legged friends perceive the world. For them, smells aren't just pleasant or unpleasant sensations. They're the main source of information about the surrounding world, something comparable to what vision, hearing, speech, and even the internet combined are for us. Dogs can distinguish scents in concentrations 100 million times lower than what's available to humans. They can smell a person who walked along a path several hours ago, determine what emotional state they were in, and even recognize certain diseases by characteristic changes in body odor. Think about this. Our pets live in a world we can't even imagine. A world full of aromatic traces and stories, invisible to us but screaming loud for them. Scientists identify several main theories explaining why dogs love rolling in smelly substances. The first, and perhaps most common, is connected to evolutionary heritage and has roots in prehistoric times, when ancestors of modern dogs were just beginning to hunt in packs. Wolves, from which all modern dogs descended, use strong smells as camouflage during hunting. By rolling in prey remains, animal excrement, or strongly scented plants, a predator masks its natural scent, allowing it to get closer to potential prey. Imagine a wolf sneaking up on a herd of deer. If a deer smells a predator, it will immediately raise the alarm, and the whole herd will flee. But if the wolf has previously disguised its scent, the chances of successful hunting increase significantly. This phenomenon, by the way, is observed not only in wolves and dogs but also in many other predators. For example, foxes can also roll in carrion or excrement to conceal their scent while hunting. And some wild cat species use similar tactics, rubbing environmental scents into their fur for more effective camouflage. Although domestic dogs have long stopped hunting independently and receive food from their owners, this ancient instinct has persisted and manifests during walks in the park or forest. Think of it this way. Your dog, rolling in something unpleasantly smelly, isn't trying to upset you or create problems. They're following an ancient survival instinct that was vital for their ancestors over many thousands of years. Interestingly, modern research shows that domestic dogs do indeed become less noticeable to potential prey after rolling in strongly scented substances. Experiments with deer showed that they react significantly less warily to the scent of a dog that has previously disguised itself than to the scent of a clean dog. This is scientific confirmation of an ancient hunting strategy encoded in our pets' genes. The second theory suggests that this is how dogs communicate with their pack. In nature, wolves returning to their pack bring with them smells from places they've visited. This is a unique way to tell their kind about their adventures and discoveries, share information about potential prey, food sources, or dangers. In some sense, it's a primitive form of news or messages in wolf society. When your dog returns home proudly carrying the aroma of a compost heap, rotten fish, or something even more exotic, they might just want to share their findings with you. From their perspective, this is incredibly valuable information that's important to convey to other pack members, that is, to you and other pets. Imagine you can't tell friends about an amazing restaurant you visited or show photos from your trip. All you can do is bring the smells of these places on yourself to give friends a chance to feel your impressions. That's approximately how your dog feels, unable to tell you about their discoveries any other way. Supporting this theory, we can point to observations of dog behavior after aromatic procedures. Many dogs, returning home after rolling in something smelly, demonstrate characteristic behavior. They seem to present their new smell, rub against furniture, approach their owners as if saying, "Smell what interesting information I brought you." The third explanation relates to social status and group identification. Wolves and wild dogs have a complex social hierarchy, and one way to raise one's status or confirm pack membership is to demonstrate successful hunting or an important find. By bringing a new strong smell, a dog seems to declare, "Look what I found. I made an important discovery. I'm a valuable pack member." Research shows that after rolling in smelly substances, dogs often demonstrate so-called parade behavior. Head held high, tense posture, specific gait, everything indicates pride and satisfaction. This is very similar to how wolves return to their pack after successful hunting with the same expression of triumph and self-satisfaction. In domestic settings, this may be an attempt to attract the owner's attention, impress other dogs, or simply confirm their importance in the family pack. Many owners note that their dogs are especially eager to roll in smelly substances precisely when other dogs or people are nearby, as if they want to demonstrate their find to an audience. Interestingly, dogs' reaction to smells differs greatly from ours, not only because of their acute sense of smell, but also due to completely different interpretation of scents. What stinks and causes disgust for us might smell incredibly attractive to them and carry important biological information. Their olfactory receptors are tuned completely differently, and smells of decomposing organic matter carry rich information for them about animals that left these traces, the state of the territory, and many other aspects of the surrounding world. For dogs, smell isn't just pleasant or unpleasant. It's a complex information code that's deciphered in their brain and provides a rich picture of the surrounding world. Renowned sinologist Stanley Coren compares the world of smells for a dog to what the internet represents for humans. An endless source of diverse information, providing access to events occurring in other places and at other times. Imagine that you can smell a fox that passed through here 3 days ago, determine whether it was hungry, whether it was healthy, which direction it was moving, and even approximately when it will return. You can learn that there's a female dog in heat on the next street, that someone was cutting fish a couple of kilometers away, that a pack of stray dogs passed through twice this month. For a dog, such information is contained in the slightest traces of smells, and the opportunity to literally immerse in this information flow can be incredibly exciting. Another interesting theory, proposed by Professor Patricia McConnell, a well-known animal behavior specialist, relates to territorial behavior and olfactory communication through smells. By applying a strong smell to themselves, a dog might mark territory not only with their natural aroma, but also with a borrowed one. It's a way to strengthen their presence in a particular area and demonstrate, "This is my territory, and I control all smells here." Wolves and wild dogs use various scent markers to designate the boundaries of their territory, but their own scent has limited range and eventually wears off. By applying additional, more persistent aromas, a dog seems to expand their olfactory footprint in space. This is especially important for animals living in large territories or competing for resources with other predators. Research shows that dogs especially often roll in smelly substances precisely at the boundaries of territories they consider theirs or in places frequently visited by other dogs. This confirms the territorial function of such behavior. What if rolling in smelly substances is simply an expression of pleasure? Many owners note that their pets look unusually happy during and after such aromatic bathing. They have a relaxed face, a blissful look, and may even make special sounds, indicating extreme satisfaction. From a neurophysiological perspective, intense smells can stimulate the production of happiness, hormones, endorphins, and dopamine in a dog's brain. This creates a feeling of euphoria comparable to what a person experiences during physical exercise or when eating favorite foods. Perhaps dogs simply enjoy the richness of olfactory sensations, just as we enjoy a beautiful view or a delicious meal. Some researchers draw an analogy with how people use perfumes. We apply perfumes and colognes to change our natural scent, make it more attractive to others, or express our individuality. Perhaps dogs do the same thing, but using aromas available to them in nature. Some animal behavior researchers suggest that rolling in strongly scented substances might be related to hygiene, as paradoxical as it sounds. In nature, certain smells can repel parasites, and dogs' instinctive urge to roll in, for example, fire ash, certain herbs, or even some animal excrement, might be aimed at getting rid of fleas and ticks. It's known that many wild animals use strongly scented plants or mineral substances for protection against parasites. For instance, some bird species include certain plants with strong smells in their nest construction, which repel insects. Bears rub against trees not only to leave a mark, but also to remove skin irritated by parasites. Perhaps dogs rolling in smelly substances is a manifestation of a similar instinct. Research shows that some components of rotting organic matter, such as sulfur-containing compounds, can indeed repel certain parasites. And fire ash, in which many dogs love to roll, has absorbent properties and can help clean fur of grease and dirt. This hypothesis is supported by observations of wild dogs and wolves, which more often roll in smelly substances during seasonal periods of parasite activity. Additionally, dogs especially love to roll in scents containing components with potential antiparasitic action. Let's turn to specific situations and analyze which smells particularly attract dogs. In first place, undoubtedly, are products of other animals' vital activity. Excrement, urine, anal gland secretions, remains of dead animals, all these carry rich information about who was in the territory, when, and in what condition. Analyzing the smell of another animal's excrement, a dog can determine its species, sex, age, health condition, hormonal status, diet, and even how long ago this animal was here. This is a true information treasure. No wonder dogs are so eager not only to sniff, but literally to dive into these aromas. Particularly attractive to dogs are the excrements of predators, such as foxes, wolves, or even large cats. These smells contain especially abundant information and can cause strong reactions in pets. Many owners note that their dogs simply go crazy upon discovering fox droppings or urine. The second most attractive group consists of decomposing organic substances: compost, rotting plants, rotten fish, carrion. The decomposition process releases many volatile compounds such as amines, hydrogen sulfide, ammonia, and various organic acids, which can be interesting to a dog's nose. The smell of decomposing organic matter also has important informational significance. It can indicate the presence of food, the presence of certain animal or insect species, changes in soil or vegetation condition. For a dog, this isn't just a stench, but a whole encyclopedia of data about the environment. Interestingly, dogs especially love smells associated with water bodies, algae, mud, fish. This may be related to water being a valuable resource and a place where many animals concentrate, and therefore a source of important information. Many dogs literally lose their heads discovering discarded fish or accumulated algae on a river or lake shore. The third group consists of strongly scented artificial substances, perfumes, chemicals, fertilizers, motor oil. Although they have no natural analog, their intense smell can make dogs want to apply it to their fur. Perhaps this is a kind of adaptation of an ancient instinct to modern conditions. Many owners note with surprise that their dogs show special interest in freshly laundered clothes, especially if the laundry detergent or conditioner contains strong fragrances. Some pets even try to roll on freshly washed items, as if trying to apply this smell to themselves. The fourth group consists of specific natural smells not directly related to other animals: fire ash, certain soil types, specific plants. These smells may attract dogs for various reasons. Ash has absorbent properties and can help clean fur. Some soil types contain minerals beneficial for skin and fur, and plants may release essential oils with potential antiparasitic effects. Interestingly, different dog breeds may show varying tendencies to roll in smelly substances. Hunting breeds such as hounds, retrievers, and terriers usually demonstrate a stronger attraction to collecting smells. This makes perfect sense considering that for them, smell plays a crucial role in performing their historical tasks. For example, bloodhounds, possessing the keenest sense of smell among all dog breeds, are known for their special love of rolling in smelly substances. They're followed by beagles, foxhounds, and other breeds used for tracking. These dogs seem to try to maximize their already phenomenal olfactory abilities. This tendency is less pronounced in working breeds such as German Shepherds, Rottweilers, Dobermans. These dogs were bred to work in close contact with humans and are more oriented toward following commands than following ancient instincts. However, genuine lovers of aromatic baths can be found among them too. But decorative breeds, especially those that have long been bred exclusively as companions, generally show less interest in smelly substances. Pugs, Pekingese, Shih Tzus, and similar breeds less frequently exhibit this instinct, although of course there are exceptions to every rule. A dog's age also affects their tendency to roll in smelly substances. Puppies and young dogs, especially during puberty when their hormonal system is actively developing, may show particularly strong interest in smells. With age, many dogs become less obsessed with this activity, although the instinct rarely disappears completely. Interestingly, castrated and sterilized dogs, according to many owners' observations, show less interest in rolling in smelly substances. This may be related to changes in hormonal balance, which affects perception of smells and intensity of instinctive reactions. What should owners do to deal with this aspect of their pet's behavior? The first option is prevention. During walks, carefully watch your dog and distract them if you see they found something potentially aromatic. The command "no" or "leave it" should be well practiced specifically for such cases. For effective prevention, it's important to understand the signs indicating a dog is about to roll in something smelly. Usually, it's a characteristic pose. The dog lowers their head, sniffs, then begins to rub their neck or shoulder against the surface, gradually transitioning to rolling on their back. If you notice these signs, act quickly. In a few seconds, it will be too late. Some owners use long leashes or retractable leashes to be able to quickly pull the dog back if they show interest in an unsuitable object. Others use distracting maneuvers, throwing a favorite toy, offering a treat, or starting a game in another direction. The second approach is redirection of energy. If your dog particularly loves collecting smells, offer them an alternative activity, searching for hidden objects, scent-based tricks, special toys with aromatic fillings. These activities will allow your pet to satisfy their need for olfactory stimulation in a way more acceptable to you. Special sniffing mats where treats can be hidden, toys with replaceable aromatic inserts, tracking exercises. All these are excellent ways to channel a dog's natural instincts in a controlled form. Many professional trainers recommend regularly arranging olfactory walks for dogs, during which pets are allowed to actively explore smells in safe places. The third option is selective permission. If completely forbidding a dog from following their instincts is difficult, you can designate certain situations when they're allowed to roll in something smelly. For example, many hunters specifically allow their dogs to roll in safe natural materials such as freshly cut grass or fallen leaves, understanding that this is important behavior for them. Some owners even create special aromatic zones in their backyard where they place safe but interesting materials for dogs. Fresh grass, hay, tree bark, harmless plants with strong smells. In such zones, dogs are allowed to freely satisfy their instinct without risking getting dirty with something truly unpleasant. And of course, it's necessary to have means for emergency fur cleaning on hand. Special shampoos that neutralize odors, wet wipes for animals, dry shampoos, deodorant sprays for dogs. All these might be needed if your pet still found and used a particularly aromatic trophy for its intended purpose. Professional groomers recommend having a set of products at home for different types of contamination. For organic, excrement, decomposing substances, shampoos with enzymes that break down protein compounds work well. For oily contamination, motor oil, fuel oil, special degreasing compositions, and for neutralizing particularly persistent odors, products based on chlorophyll or activated charcoal. In particularly difficult cases, you can use home remedies, baking soda solution, diluted apple cider vinegar, or special tomato juice, not food grade, but specifically designed for odor removal. These remedies help neutralize many unpleasant odors without harming the dog's skin and fur. Remember that no matter how much trouble this behavior causes us, for a dog it's natural and has deep meaning. Instead of getting angry and punishing your pet, try to understand their motives and find a compromise that will allow them to satisfy natural instincts without creating problems for living together. Punishment for rolling in smelly substances usually doesn't provide long-term results. Dogs rarely connect the owner's negative reaction specifically with the act of rolling rather. They perceive punishment as unfair aggression. This can undermine trust between you and your pet and make the dog simply hide their behavior rather than abandon it. The positive reinforcement method works much more effectively. Praise and reward your dog when they pass by a potentially attractive smell without showing interest in it. Interesting fact, Some professional cynologists and behaviorists use dogs' tendency to roll in smelly substances for diagnostic purposes. The degree of interest in certain smells, intensity of reaction, and nature of movements during rolling can give a specialist valuable information about a dog's temperament, strength of their instincts, and potential for certain types of work. For example, a dog with pronounced desire to collect smells may have excellent prerequisites for search and rescue work or for detecting prohibited substances, and a pet that actively presents its new smell to other dogs after rolling in a smelly substance likely possesses pronounced social instincts and may be well suited for canine therapy using dogs for therapeutic purposes. Modern research in ethology, the science of animal behavior, continues to reveal new aspects in understanding why dogs roll in smelly substances. For instance, recent experiments using functional magnetic resonance imaging have shown that when perceiving particularly intense smells, pleasure centers activate in dogs' brains, very similar to those activated in humans when listening to favorite music or viewing beautiful landscapes. This suggests that perception of intense smells may be for dogs not just informative, but a truly aesthetic experience, a kind of equivalent to art in the dog world. Perhaps when rolling in smelly substances, our pets experience something comparable to what we feel when attending a concert by a favorite performer or an exhibition of masterpiece paintings. Another interesting observation relates to the social aspect of this behavior. Researchers have noticed that if one dog in a group starts rolling in a smelly substance, others often join in, even if they initially showed no particular interest in the smell. This resembles social contagion, a phenomenon where emotions and behavior spread quickly within a group. A similar phenomenon is observed in humans, for example, when one person's laughter or yawning triggers a similar reaction in those around them. It's also curious that in some cases, dogs living in the same house may specialize in different types of smells. For example, one dog may show special interest in herbivore excrement, while another prefers smells associated with water bodies. This may be related to individual preferences, experience, or even the formation of a kind of division of labor in collecting information about the territory. Dogs' behavior regarding smells can change depending on the season. Many owners note that their pets show particularly strong interest in rolling in smelly substances in spring and autumn periods, when the most intense changes occur in nature and many new smells appear. This may be related to natural activity cycles, the desire to collect maximum information about the changing environment, or seasonal hormonal fluctuations. It's also interesting that dogs living in urban conditions may show more intense reactions to natural smells than their rural counterparts. This is explained by the novelty effect. For a city dog rarely encountering wilderness smells, they represent special value and evoke a stronger response. Observations of dog behavior show they can be selective in choosing smells for rolling. Some pets ignore certain smelly substances and literally lose their heads over others, and these preferences can be very individual. This resembles how people react differently to various aromas, finding some attractive and others repulsive. Perhaps each dog has their own aromatic taste formed under the influence of genetics, early experience, and individual characteristics of their sense of smell. This taste may determine which particular smells cause them to want to roll and which leave them indifferent. In conclusion, studying dog behavior, even one as strange as rolling in smelly substances, helps us better understand our four-legged friends and build more harmonious relationships with them. Behind each, even the most incomprehensible action to us, stand thousands of years of evolution and a complex system of instincts that have made dogs such amazing creatures. Research shows that understanding a dog's natural needs and instincts contributes to forming a stronger bond between pet and owner. When we stop perceiving dog behavior from the perspective of human standards and begin looking at the world through their eyes, or more precisely, their nose, we discover a new level of mutual understanding and interaction. The world of dogs is a world of smells, rich, diverse, and endlessly interesting. Rolling in smelly substances is one of the ways our pets explore this world, communicate with it, and derive pleasure from it. And although this may be a source of inconvenience for us, for a dog, it's an important and natural aspect of their life, connected to their nature, history, and evolution. So the next time your dog enthusiastically throws themselves into rolling in something indescribably smelly, remember that this isn't just mischief or a desire to spoil your mood. It's a manifestation of ancient nature that still lives in our domestic pets reminding us of their wild past and unique perception of the world. And perhaps, instead of irritation, you'll feel a drop of admiration for this amazing creature, capable of finding such deep pleasure and meaning in what for us is just an unpleasant smell. Modern training methods recommend not suppressing dogs' natural instincts, but directing them into acceptable channels. For example, you can use your dog's inclination to explore smells in object-finding games or even sports disciplines such as nose work or trailing. This will allow your pet to realize their natural tendencies in a safe and controlled form. Interestingly, some services using dogs to search for drugs, explosives, or even for medical diagnostics deliberately select puppies showing special interest in smells and tendency to collect them. Such dogs often show better results in detecting target substances and learn specific skills faster. Thank you for your attention. If you like this material, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Ahead are many more interesting topics about the behavior and psychology of our beloved pets. In upcoming episodes, we'll talk about other mysterious aspects of canine behavior, why dogs howl at sirens, why they bury objects, and what their body language means. Until next time in the amazing world of our four-legged friends.